I'm Doug Holtz-Eakin, president of the American Action Forum. The Congressional Budget Office released its latest budget projections, and the numbers are daunting. The CBO anticipates $12 trillion in deficits over the next 10 years. Deficits over $1 trillion in only 2 years, averaging over 4% of GDP for 10 years, and the debt rising to nearly 100% the size of the economy. Not a very pretty picture. You might hear that this is because of the tax cut recently enacted. That's not quite right. Yes, the tax cut will raise the deficit, but the deficit was going to get to $1 trillion anyway. It just happens sooner now. We need to address the spending side if we want to control the deficits. And that spending side is driven by the big entitlement programs, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, the Affordable Care Act. It's an imperative that we put these on a sound financial footing. It's also an imperative if we want to keep tax reform. One of the lessons of 1986 is that tax reform is hard, but keeping tax reform is even harder. And if you run deficits, as we did at that time, and people start worrying about them, as they did at that time, there will be a temptation to raise revenue, and if you open up the tax code, the tax reform goes away. One sad future for the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act might be just exactly that, unless we keep the spending side under control. So Tax Reform 2.0 is in the air. It consists of entitlement reform. That's the most important thing on the agenda.